Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your January 2022 Mercury Retrograde reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Capricorn be affected by the January 2022 Mercury Retrograde? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Empress, and we have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. So if we have Scorpio within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully here at our root. We then have the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, or we have fire sign energy within our natal chart. That comes through very powerfully here in our inner self. And we have the Three of Swords. We then have the Five of Wands, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. I like that progression. The Fool, and the Lovers. So the Lovers is Gemini energy. If we have Gemini energy within our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully here in the public arena. But Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and we're talking about Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde is going to have a way of affecting us in the public arena more so than we think it is going to. So just be aware of that. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, so wherever Pluto comes in during this time, which it does, we're going to find that does Pluto come in? No, it doesn't. It doesn't come in at all. So we're going to find that that's here at our root. So just being aware of that is also very helpful. Let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Lord. This is Aries energy. And this is just, we don't like being told what to do. I mean, this is just power and authority, and, this can be very overwhelming masculine energy too coming in. It doesn't have to be this person is, masculine in appearance. This could be a person whose energy is just very forceful. You will listen to them. This is the way it is going to be. So just know that you're going to rebel against that, Capricorn, which is, it's going to be nice because it's like, no, I need to express, I need to explore, I need to see. Usually we like having the rules and having a a certain way of embracing authority, or, moving forward towards what we want. This is going to be a time where we're a little bit more exploratory. And also, we don't like the energy this person gives off. It's kind of like, no, wait, you haven't earned it, and yet you're demanding it. And that doesn't jive with us ever. Then we have our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is the I am presence, and this is the crown chakra. This is crowning ourselves with I am. I am strong. I am powerful. I am intuitive. I am connected. I am seen. I am heard. I am so much more than I ever realized. I am enough. And yet we also have the negative aspect of the I am present. I am lazy. I am tired. I am overwhelmed. I am fat. I am, this. I am that. We sit there and we just rip ourselves apart in a way that we never would another person. And so here it's looking at the I am presence, and it's saying, how am I crowning myself? How am I showing up for myself? How am I embracing and loving and understanding me? And how is that translating into my world? That's going to be very important. Because the I am presence, it's my favorite card in the whole entire tower, in the whole entire chakra deck, because it is that crown that we put on ourselves. And it's like, am I worthy of this crown? Am I present to wear this crown for my existence, for my soul, for myself? And that's a big question to ask. Now, we have Mercury retrograde, going into retrograde on the 14th of January. The pre-shadow period of Mercury retrograde is from the 29th of December to the 14th of January. Now, this is, the pre-shadow period begins in Capricorn, of course, right? And we're going to want answers. In Capricorn, we always want answers. We love to have answers for things. And yet we have Sagittarius in Aquarius. So Sagittarius rules us, Capricorn. So when Sagittarius is present, we listen. It affects us more than it will others. And it being in Aquarius, Sagittarius about rules and structure, Aquarius about freedom and expression, we're going to find that we come to the conclusion in this shadow period, in this pre-shadow period, that if I just have the proper rules, if I just have the proper structure, I'll be able to move forward exactly the way I want to. Everything will just fall down like dominoes. And that's not necessarily going to be the case, but we're going to see the thing that we want to have control over, and that's going to play into the Mercury retrograde and play a rather large part. So we also have Jupiter energy coming in Pisces, and that's really good. That's a very friendly, caring, nurturing energy that comes forward. Neptune is in Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces, so our dreams really do come forward. Neptune is also known as the Lord of the Invisible Kingdom, so it's what our hearts want, what we dream about, our self-expression. This is going to be a time where we really need to embrace that. Now, on the 14th of January to the 4th of February, we have Mercury in retrograde. Now, Mercury is in Aquarius, and this is a very positive position for Mercury to be in. And we need to be able to express our words, our language, our ideas, our concepts, whatever it is that gets us thinking, that gets us moving, that has us stepping out of the box. That's going to be very important for us. So this is going to be a very powerful time for us. This is going to be a very unique time for us. And even though Mercury is comfortable in Aquarius, when Mercury is in retrograde, we find the breakdown of communication all the more frustrating because we just feel overwhelmed. We just feel like, wait, it's supposed to be going right. I'm supposed to be embracing this, and yet I'm not. Neptune and Jupiter are still in Pisces, and so we have that comforting energy. We have that energy of our dreams coming forward. Venus is in Capricorn, and Venus doesn't like being in Capricorn. In Capricorn, we don't really like having Venus there. So just being aware of this makes it hard for us to express our feelings, which does not help us during Mercury retrograde. We're already feeling like we're running up against a brick wall. Now we're going to find that we need to really look at what we want, look at how we're moving things forward. And so this can make us rather secretive. This can make us rather withdrawn, and we can feel anxious. We can feel sad. We can feel like, I'm just not at that place that I want to be in. And we have to step back and we have to say, okay, you know what? I can embrace my heart. I can look at what I love. And that's going to be okay. But we have this sense of a battle at our heart that we do really need to look at here. So just be mindful of this. Mercury is going to be trine the moon. So when Mercury is trine the moon, it's a really good place. Mercury likes being trine the moon. And so we will have good memories, a peaceful soul, good communication skills. But because we're in retrograde, we feel like we almost get there and then things fall apart. And then we just don't hit the mark the way that we want to. Mercury is going to be conjunct Saturn. We are ruled by Saturn. So this is again going to be powerful for us. We will find ourselves distrusting our own abilities and our own imagination. We again want rules and structure to be able to come in and kind of make things right and lay that foundation, lay that ground. But we need to not let rules get in the way of our ideas, get in the way of our imagination. We need to let ourselves be a bit free. Mercury is going to be squared Uranus. Now this is an alignment that makes everybody just frustrated, okay? So Mercury squared Uranus has everybody being so terribly opinionated that everybody's talking but nobody is listening. And we become very, very frustrated with this because there's a sense of I'm right, you're wrong, and everybody's on attack mode. So just be aware. Just be aware that everybody is really powerful, really upfront with their feelings, with their desires, with the way that they want to move forward in their life. And that's going to be something that, is a bit overwhelming, and we can find ourselves being overwhelmed by it and wanting to kind of shrink away. From the 4th of February to the 24th of February, we have the post-shadow period. Now, the moon is sextile Mercury. This brings peace and intelligence. We just have to step out of our own egos and into what we truly want, and that's going to be the challenge for everybody. Mercury is going to be sextile Neptune, and we have amazing imagination. We have a beautiful way of looking at things. We just find it hard to bring these ideas to life because we have to step out of the fear and the idea of perfection. Mercury is going to be conjunct Pluto. This alignment brings chaotic thinking because the subconscious and the conscious thinking process are intertwined. So we're going to feel rather as if, if I only explain it well enough, if I just lay things out, well enough, people will be able to understand. But there's just going to be that gap that happens where people don't see. The MC is squared Mercury. Now, this makes us intelligent. It makes us business savvy. It makes us likable. But we're also going to be relentless in our pursuits and easily distracted and scattered. So just be aware of that. Mercury is going to be trying the North Lunar Node. We're going to be curious about ourselves, about others. We're going to want to dive deep into everything for everyone. We're not going to be able to save everything. We're not going to be able to save everyone. And, even with some areas of ourselves, we have to let certain things go. And that's going to be very important for us. At our root here, we have the Empress. We are pregnant with possibilities. Now, this is very strong feminine energy coming forward, and not can be, it is very strong sacred feminine energy coming forward. If we want to, start a family, if we want to embrace a nurturing mode in our lives, this is a really great sign for it. This is a really great way to start. We're also creating something. We're having something birthed forward in our lives that helps open up the door. It's like, this is the next step. This is the maybe not logical, but beautiful next progression in our lives to what we deeply desire, to where we deeply want to be. We have to let that come forward. It moves us to the death card. It moves us to a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. As we're birthing forward these ideas, this passion, this desire, this connection with the sacred feminine, this healing, this stability and security of self, this sacred mother energy, we have the death card coming in, and we have a transformation coming forward. It can be we're not the same person we were when we started off on this journey. It can also be that as things become muddled, as things become confused, we look at things more openly and more honestly. Excuse me. For ourselves, for the world around us, for what it is that we want. And we're starting to say, why not? And we're also starting to see the transformations in our lives. And we need to mourn. Some of us definitely need to mourn how our lives have progressed, where we are now, where it is that we thought we needed to be, or where we wanted to be. And as we're looking at this, as we're understanding this, as we're seeing this within ourselves, we also need to start to celebrate who we are, what we desire from our lives, where it is that we're headed, our dreams, our goals. And that leads us to the Fire of Wands. That leads us to our inner self, just being passionate and determined and focused. And it's like, nobody's going to come in and stop me. And yet we're having this beautiful transformation come forward. And then the Three of Swords, it's like, no, you can't. Don't you remember the heartbreak and the pain and the disappointment? Don't you remember the way things fell apart, the way that it can't be? And we're going to need to really rebel against this energy here of no, I can't, because yes, I absolutely can. And there's power, and there's intention, and there's insight, and there's brilliance to us that we need to let shine. The Three of Swords is saying, take the sword out. Take the sword out so the wound doesn't keep on being made. Take the sword out so that we start to heal, so that we start to connect, so that we start to see what it is that we truly want and where it is that we truly want to be. Because if we don't give ourselves permission, if we don't name the pain, the battle just continues. We're so used to fighting, Capricorn. We're so used to this anger, this frustration, this chaos, this hurt, this overwhelming power coming in. And we're going to find that if we don't release the pain, it just continues. There are going to be small things in our lives that all of a sudden blow up into huge things. There are going to be certain things where it's just like, well, this has always been chaos, and so I'm just going to perpetuate it. And if we stop the fighting, then we're in for such a treat, because we come to the Ten of Pentacles. This is prosperity and success and bounty. This is the opening of the door. This is the greater understanding of the self. This is the place that I need to be and the celebration of who I am. This is generational blessings coming in. This is wealth coming forward. And it's like I'm opening up the door to wealth, or I can keep the door open to chaos and hurt and pain. That's going to be a choice that we have. And that's going to be something that we need to understand about ourselves during this Mercury retrograde, what we focus on, because we are such a powerful force during this time, Capricorn. What we focus on, we wind up achieving, for better or for worse. And it brings us to the Fool in the public arena, where we're taking those steps. We're walking and embracing that journey. Here it says purity, potential, risk, innocence, desire. We're seeing ourselves being able to say, I'm taking that leap of faith. I'm going after what it is that I want. I'm opening up the door. There's so much more to me than I ever realized there could be. And I can stay in fear, most definitely. I can stay held back. I can stay overwhelmed. Or I can open the door and say, it's my time. It's my time to let me shine. It's my time to walk down this path, to embrace what others might seem to think is just impossible or could never be or should never be. And now it's like, no, but I get to have these dreams. I get to move forward this way. I was listening to a biography of Barbara Streisand, and the fact that her mother never thought that she would be anything, and she always wanted that warm, loving mother figure to come and comfort her. That was such a place of pause for me. And so when we're on this fool's journey, which is, what everybody is on. And if we look at Barbara Streisand, we can say, okay, that's what she was on. She became this larger than life figure. But when she started with nothing. And to say that I'm going to be a success was just astoundingly silly, right? But when we dream, and when we dare to dream, those dreams are astoundingly silly. And yet, when we open up our hearts to them, when we start to let our own natural talent shine through, and it doesn't matter our age at all, we start to see the extraordinary happen. We start to see the amazing come forward. I mean, look at Susan, what is her name? Susan Boyle, who sang and just blew everybody away. So why can't we? Remember, every single hero's journey is a fool's errand first. We have to let ourselves be brave enough to be fools before we can be heroes of our story. And it moves us to the lovers. It moves us to this beautiful connection with love and harmony and union, repeated like a mantra. This is what I love. This is what I desire within my life. This is the harmony, the brilliance, the power that gets to be a part of me. I get to open up this door. I'm falling in love with my life again. I'm embracing the passion of what I want and what I need. I'm opening up the door. Mercury retrograde is intense, yes. But it also brings up issues. It brings up things, confusions, doubts, fears that we've carried and yet buried down. And now they bubble up. And it's like, can I face this and become profoundly and unbelievably successful? Because the answer is yes. Yes, I can. And there's the passion, and there's the beauty, and there's the coming together of the sacred feminine, of the sacred masculine to open up the doors. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the Princess of Swords. This is people who speak without knowing, speak without thinking. Just be mindful of this, and we'll take their words seriously, and yet they're just wiggling their lips. They're just talking. The subconscious chakra energy is grounding. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We're grounding ourselves to what we deeply want, to what we deeply need. We're saying, all right, am I nourishing me? Am I planting myself in the right place? Am I moving myself forward the right way? That's going to be important. Our subconscious energy, rooted energy, is the Lovers once again. So again, that Mercury energy comes forward very, very powerfully for us. It's the connection. It's the connection of what we love and what we're giving birth to. It's the connection of what we love and how we are transforming within our lives. It brings us to our subconscious inner self, and that's judgment. Judgment is rising like the phoenix from the ashes, rising into our power, rising into our understanding, blessing open the doors and saying, I get to be so much more than I ever thought I could be. I get to, leave the constraints behind, the box behind, the conformity behind, and let myself be me. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and that is justice. This is Libra energy, strong connection with Libra is ruled by Venus, and so we have the strong connection to Venus at our heart. And so here we're going to find that we need to be fair. We need to be just to ourselves. We need to be balanced. We're going to have a tendency to go to one extreme or another. We need to find that middle ground. That middle ground is so important for us, Capricorn, because it's the stabilizing ground, and we need that stabilizing ground. It brings, it brings us to our subconscious public arena self, and that is the Ace of Wands. We're definitely taking this gift of passion and prosperity and new beginnings. Here it says career, beginnings, and travel. We take it because we have it here in our inner selves with the King of Wands. Are we going to know we're taking it? No, not really. No, not really. But there's this beautiful passion. There's this beautiful fire to us. There's this beautiful new beginnings. And we need to embrace that openly and honestly with ourselves, to let these new beginnings really come forward. And just to let ourselves shine. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, saying it's time to shine. It's time to go after what we creatively, personally, powerfully want. And it's time to let that door be open. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power and the intensity of this Mercury retrograde. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn, and may you have a blessed Mercury retrograde.